Today. Bit of a struggle so far, but both Barbara and I in the breakfast show agreed that it's going to get hotter than 20. She reckoned 22, I say 20 plus, that way it's covered anyway. And it's not going to be cloudy, it's not going to be rainy, it's going to be finey. Yeah, it really is. Thursday, October 24th, and I'm absolutely elated to say that Jason James Rolfe is joining us right after these messages.
Galaxy.
Yeah, so we're going to be going straight into Evil. When we come out of that, we will introduce you live to the world. And
Hi Amanda,
at the moment, there's 62 countries and 94 cities around the world and provinces, places like that, all tuned in.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's fun. It's fun. And the stats go up immensely when we're doing these interviews. So believe me, I think that's our forte. I really do. Welcome along to Galaxy Live again here today with Jason James Rolfe coming out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. And I don't think we've been there before, Barbara.
No, we haven't.
No, so this one's a good one.
Trip.
You know, I'm loving the hat. I really am loving that hat, I got to be honest with you. And welcome along, Jason. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to us.
Hey, thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Well, I tell you something. I read a bit of your bio myself. I have a little empathy for your upbringing. I've got to be honest with you. It sounds like you had a rough time.
Yeah, it was just part of what happened, and I felt like somebody sometime was going to ask about it, so I thought I'd write about it a little bit, and that was then, and I just used it to write.
You know, I absolutely understand where you're coming from. I really do. I got to ask you though, your little friend that passed away at 16, was that because of suicide?
Yes, it was suicide.
Right. Now I can put the picture together, if you know what I mean. I sort of assumed it might have been, but and I apologise for asking, I really do, but now I have an understanding of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I really felt like, after that something happened in my writing that was different, and it was just his little way of telling me he was around,
Sure.
Because I was always just so jealous of him. He could just make up these songs, and it was just something, and only him and I knew about. Only I knew about it. He didn't even really understand how jealous of it I was. So when I recognized it, I was like, oh, he's totally letting me know that, it was just a little jab from him.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, let's go to the desk and...
we have Frank Mama watching us.
Oh, Frank's joining us.
From Late Night Jacksonville TV.
Hello, Frank. Welcome along Late Night Jacksonville Television. Believe me, you're going to absolutely love this today. Jason James Rolfe coming out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. And believe me, the people that listen to Galaxy 107 FM are elated to know that he's here joining us live. Welcome to Jacksonville, Florida, and Late Night Television.
Flying sun, here I come. If I return, given 1,000 years, I feel the giant rain for all my fears. It'll light it up. Will it find me?
That's right, you're right, here we go. Let's see, 107 FM, almost fucked that up actually. 10 after 11 o'clock, 15 degrees downtown, heading for a high 17 degrees today. And absolutely elated to be joined not only by Jacksonville, Florida late night television, but the man himself, Jason James Rolfe, from the Jason James Rolfe Band, coming out of Idaho Falls, Idaho. Welcome along, Jason.
How you doing?
It is an absolute pleasure to meet you, my friend. It really, really is. And I've been looking forward to this ever since I very first heard your song, Outlaw State of Mind. We're going to talk about that very, very shortly. But we just played Evil. Now,
Evil.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Evil.
Let's talk about Evil. I absolutely
So,
love this.
After Outlaw State of Mind, I decided that I needed another outlaw song that really brought in maybe somebody from the West where I was from, somebody where I knew the area I know about. And the first person that came to my mind was Evel Knievel. And so I was actually at the funeral procession. I was there the day they buried Evel. I lived right there in town for about 2 years. I flew out of Butte, Montana. And so I was able to really absorb the feel, you know, and so, you know, Uptown Butte, I got a shout out to Uptown Butte, Montana, for letting me experience that whole thing.
Yeah, believe me, Evel Knievel as a child as well. I grew up as he was a hero. He really, really was. In fact, I think he inspired a lot of the dangerous stuff I did. Not only as on a push bike, but as I grew up getting onto motorbikes and stuff like that, I wanted to do impossible jumps, much like him. So he was a great loss to the world, really, wasn't he?
He was, and you know, all I'm picturing in that song is Evel Knievel and Charlie's Angels, and you know, him flying through the air, and everything that he entailed. And I think people will really get that when they connect that with Evel Knievel.
You know, I absolutely love that. And you're the first person that I know of that's actually done a song in commemoration of Evel and keeping him still alive in everybody's minds. Now, at the same time, I got to ask you, Jason, because believe me, our fans want to know, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, Jason, do you respond?
I do respond. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I am on iTunes, CD Baby. You can message me direct. Yeah, VooDoo Princess on my music page. You can message me, Jason James, Mr. Jason James, the one in Idaho Falls, and. There is another Jason James. He's awesome too. Yeah, I'll be the one in Idaho Falls.
Nice. And you're also the one with the pink hat on, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'll be the one with the pink hat on.
There you go. There's your clue. Go and find the one with the pink hat. You'll find it. But at the same time, do you have a website?
Currently, I do not. I'm gearing up for, literally, I'm just really gearing up for 2020.
Nice, nice.
Really to start advertising. The VooDoo Princess finally came through, and sort of like my image and my sound really all has come together. The album was the first. I'd only sang for a few months when I did the song. Outlaw State of Mind was literally the first song I ever sang in front of anybody or any kind of anything, and that was it. Being 40 years old, so.
You know, it's never too late to start. I've got to be honest with you, my friend. It really, really isn't. Personally, I can't take that advice for myself as a singer. I can't sing. Well, actually, I do. I sing tenor, or maybe 12 miles away from anybody that can hear me. I do that favour to the world. Humanity doesn't want to hear me sing. They really, really don't. But I got to let you know, and you'll find this very interesting, my friend, that it's not easy getting an interview here at Galaxy. It really, really isn't. Barbara gets an unenviable amount of people that get hold of her wanting to do interviews every day. And believe me, some of them are anything up to 30 to 50 bands a day sometimes. She whittles that down, takes it to production. Production and Barbara argue like crazy, and that then gets whittled down again until it goes to a board, and the board debate, keep our image in mind, don't forget, and that whittles it down now to, well, the amount of days in the week that Barbara is actually here working with me, which is, you know, maybe 5, so we might get down that far. Then it comes to me. Now, I've got to be honest with you, Jason, I listen to you in my car. I deliberately do it so that nobody else can influence my decision of whether I want to do the interview or not, if you know what I mean. Besides that, nobody wants to drive with me. Literally, nobody wants to do that. It's a scary experience. And what I do is I go out, because we're in the middle of maybe 3 major cities right here with Rotorua, Whakatane and Tauranga. We're smack in the middle, at a little milling town, maybe about 4,000 to 7,000 people here. And so plenty of forestry roads to go exploring with the car. So I'm playing you in the car. I listened to your music, I pulled it over, literally opened up the doors, turned up the stereo, and just enjoyed it. I really, really did. So I got to say to you, when you do your next album, why not come back again and introduce it to us? Believe me, I think we would love to be able to hear it.
I would love to do that.
Nice.
And, there's a lot of stuff that's close, and you're going to be really happy with what I've got.
Excellent.
Countryside's coming. Gypsy Soul. Oh man, I'm telling you what, there's some really good stuff.
Nice.
There's some good stuff. I've grown so much, it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely stunning, my friend, because believe me, by the start of this with Evil, I absolutely loved that. But tell me about Gus. How did you come up with the lyrics of Gus?
So Gus, I had a chance to work with a guy named by the name of Gus. He's a block writer, world class block writer actually, and he worked for me for winter over in Salmon, Idaho, over by the River of No Return. I don't know if anybody's watched the River of No Return, but there's a new series out that talks all about the River of No Return. This is my part of the country over there. So he and I worked together. I got to understand his relationship between him and his first wife. And it just broke my heart. It just sort of wrote itself. And I asked him, I said, hey, people are really going to connect with the song. I don't know how you're going to react, but I'm going to do it. Do I have your permission? He said, yeah. He said, go for it. I said, it's going to hurt. And it probably does when he hears it, but that's where it comes from. Gus Thorson. You can follow him on Facebook. He's an interesting cat.
Very, very cool. So, Jacksonville, Florida, late night television. Welcome to Galaxy 107 FM live with Jason James Rolfe and Gus.
He wasn't born on a brown.
How you feeling, Jason?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Nice. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your pool play. I don't want to play pool with you. I'm pretty good, but I don't want to take you on.
We're off air, but go back on soon.
I can play pretty good.
Apparently. Now, maybe I might get some lessons from you. Apparently, you're a coach.
Yes, me and, you know what, Mike Massey and I actually had a chance to teach a class with Mike Massey and work with Mike Massey. Biggest stroke in pool. And I gotta say, I could do it. I did everything that he could do.
Nice. Well, I want to learn some of those tricks. I really do. So later down the track, I'm actually going to talk to you about possibly coming down here down under and playing in front of New Zealand audiences. I think that would absolutely eat you up.
Yes, it would. I would love it.
Nice. And at the same time, I will ask you if you're up for a challenge or two, because we're crazy here. I've got to be honest with you. We are. Yes, late night television, we're crazy. Not only in Jacksonville, here in New Zealand. And we'll give you some videos to have a look at what we do here, including the hoo-hoo grub, the zorb, and the bungee jumping, amongst some of them. Now I'm going to talk to Jason about those too. He's worried now. You can see, look at the look on his face. He's worried. Oh my God.
I don't know, he's laughing.
Yeah.
Hey, from what I understand, there are no snakes. So,
No, there's not. In fact, the most
So
deadliest animal we have here in New Zealand is actually a daddy long-legged spider.
No, it's our katapo.
Katapo?
Yeah,
Or white-tailed spider, they can bite.
yeah, but our
Don't like
native
them.
katapo is the
But,
most
yeah,
dangerous
but-
thing.
Pretty much nothing that's going to kill you too much.
I'm game for anything. I'll do some bungee jumping.
Nice. Well, we will talk about that, but in the meantime, let's go back to the desk.
Yeah. Chop chop. Hi, get Jacksonville Late Night TV guys and gals. Here's Jason.
He wasn't born on a brown in the backwoods on the face of the land. Galaxy.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 21 after 11 o'clock. It is 20 degrees downtown and elated to be joined not only by Jason James Rolfe, but also Jacksonville Late Night Television and Galaxy associated as well. Thursday, October 24th, I don't know whether you're going to use that on the screen or not, but I tell you what, we are absolutely elated to know that we have Jason James Rolfe. Scary guy, I'm not going to play him in pool, I'm really not. Apparently, Jason, you are one of the best.
I'm one of the best coaches that ever lived. One of the best players in the country, for sure. But I never reached the very, very top level with Shane Van Boning and all those guys. But I rode with Justin Bergman and Damian Pompanek, Damian Alishon, me and all those guys, we rode together all the back roads of the country, man.
Sorry about that, I just had to get something off the screen. Now, at the same time, my friend, I've often found the only way that I can play a good game of pool is get the opposition absolutely blitzed first.
You know, that's a good recipe for some people. For me, it's a lot like golf. I have no business, or singing. I have no business singing and drinking. No. I can walk past a beer and you can hear it in my voice.
Very, very cool. Well, believe me, I can hold my own there. I got to be honest with you. Golf branch manager, I hit the trees all the time. Believe me, I'm really, really good at that game too. Yeah, I really am. But at the same time, yes, I agree, singing is just not my forte either. That's why I leave it to people like you. And believe me, you are fast becoming a worldwide star here at Galaxy. I got to be honest with you, 62 countries around the world are listening to Jason James Rolfe, and 94 cities around the world as well are absolutely enjoying this interview right now, and those people on Facebook Live. And don't forget, we will give you a copy of everything we do here, Jason, so that you can basically show all your friends. We'll take some crazy photos, put them on your phone, show everybody, this is Kiwis. Don't do anything with Kiwis. It's not healthy. It really isn't. But at the same time, we'll give you the video of this interview as well. Most people instantly hit the trash button on that. Literally, it's an experience nobody else wants to relive again. I can understand that, I really can. But we will give you everything. And at the same time, at the end of this, my friend, hang in there, because we're going to do a little quick video that we put onto our website. Now, with the amount of traffic that we have going through our website, and believe me, you were maybe astounded by the numbers I was giving you before, they don't just live stream us. They get nosy. Go and have a look through my... I feel like one of the most oogled guys in the world. I gotta be honest with you. I'm glad I got clothes on.
Yeah, me too.
I really am.
That makes two of us.
Yeah, exactly. Because believe me, everybody goes and has a look. Some artists say to me, Grant, is that for real, those numbers? I say, yes, it is very much for real. Wouldn't want to buy them all a beer, though.
Well, I understand that.
Yeah, I can't afford it. Not at today's prices anyway. But I'm glad to have all 5 million plus people listening to us this morning. In fact, I will give you a current update just to be sure of it, so that Jacksonville, Florida can keep an eye on it. It is 5 million. Gone up. It's gone up. 8,618,000.
Wow.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That takes your breath away, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Wow, that's amazing.
when you see this, we've actually just taken out all the zeros. You know, we couldn't get it across the screen, so we put it down to about 4 numbers that we can all understand. 8 million. Wow. Brilliant. Welcome along, folks. Anyway, Jason, I want to talk to you about I Don't Trust the Man. Which man don't you trust?
Man, you know Washington, bro. I gotta say, I don't trust the man. It's that's a song that really hit me in the gut because someone who feels like a criminal or whatever, sort of maybe not in the box as much as some folks. I'll say that. For me to think that way might be just normal, but when I heard some really hard-working firm folks talking my language, man, I just started listening, and I realized that our friends, if we just treated our friends, if the government treated us like we treat our friends and relatives, we would have no problems. And that's kind of what I get at in that song.
Well, I got to be honest with you. We here in New Zealand, we wonder what the name of that thing that lives on his head is.
How dare you?
Well, we do. We do. What does he feed that thing? Is that the thing that makes up his mind? You know, literally sitting on his head, it's the closest thing to the smallest thing inside. I'm just wondering, is that what runs the country? And then he's just the holder of it.
Yeah, it could be. His spirit is in his head, folks.
There you go, absolutely. And we will go poke fun at that man all day long. But right now, here at Galaxy 107 FM, live with Jason James VooDoo. And Jason, we are on Jacksonville Late Night Television right now. I don't trust the man. I'm going to get some shit for that. Oh, dear. Oh, I'm going to get some shit for that. I really am. People around the world
Behind
are just going, oh, no, you're not picking on the president again. No, not at all. Would I do that? Yes, hell yeah.
He's a huge target.
Oh, totally. I mean, believe me, we often wondered if his daughter was the First Lady.
Yeah.
We have. I mean, the wife doesn't live there, does she?
No.
No. So, but the daughter does. So does that make her now the First Lady?
First brat.
Well, that's understood straight away, really.
It's still on Facebook Live, guys.
Well, it's a question.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Kiwis. We don't understand.
We come from down under.
Yeah, we come from down under. We walk upside down for you folks on the other side of the world. We defy gravity. We stick to it. People will believe anything. We've got a bridge for sale too, by the way.
No, we've got a Sky Casino
Second-hand,
centre
little
for
used,
sale too.
still warm actually. Right here in Auckland at the moment, just up the road from where we are. Our biggest city, Jason, the casino has a convention centre that we've been building for the last couple of years. Currently 3 days it's been burning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've had a number of firemen get hurt. No, not seriously yet, thank goodness. I think there's only one critical, is it?
There's been 6 injuries.
Six injuries, yeah. So, but believe me, it's the biggest city fire that's consistently gone on in New Zealand in New Zealand's history. So yeah, well, we're rather concerned about.
I hope those firemen come through that.
We all do. We all do. Seriously, we really, really do. At the same time, it's pretty much closed down the CBD. All businesses and everything like that because of the smoke, the toxic fumes, everything like that. Absolutely horrendous as far as the economy goes for Auckland right now. We need to pick up our socks. We really do. That shouldn't have happened. It really shouldn't. So, yeah, just a little bit of what's happening in New Zealand here right now. Recently, I don't know whether you would know, we also had a mass shooting down in Christchurch a number of months ago, and
I was sadly I watched that on the news and
we're still
shockingly your action you took was pretty groundbreaking for the world, really.
Well, the thing is that we're still reeling from that. Just doesn't matter where you are in New Zealand right now. We still get people talk to us about that, and it still brings that up. But our Prime Minister, I thought, acted appropriately in the right ways.
I thought so.
Nice. Let's go back to the desk, and we love Jacinda. We really do. She's one of the best world leaders that has ever been. Oh, that was pretty biased.
Get your hands out of Get your hands back to work. Put your hands this great Get your hands Get your hands back to work. Put your hands this great nation.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 27 away from 12 o'clock. It is 20 degrees, 19.7 degrees, we'll call it 20 degrees. Literally it is 86 degrees Fahrenheit inside this office right now. Maybe, Jason, you'll be able to understand that. It's getting warm, it really, really is in here. No air conditioning, even though we've had to go out and buy a few fans because it's going to get absolutely huge over the summertime as far as heat goes down here down under. It really, really is. And we're seeing the effects of climate change these days. How's it over there? Are you starting to see the effects of climate change over there?
I think so. Storms are getting worse, stronger, more just angrier. Everything that they've been saying for 20 years, every single thing they've been saying is coming to fruition.
Exactly. Now, we took particular note, Jason, of a young lady who went to the UN and read her speech out called How Dare You? Of course, we're talking about Greta Thunberg. And somebody's actually turned that speech into music. We actually play it here. It's very, very good. But even the young folks these days are saying, you can talk about money, but what really are you doing about it? What can you do about it? Do you have any ideas?
The only thing I can say is make simple choices every day. Walk a little bit more, ride your bike a little bit more, eat some more vegetables, less meat.
I'm glad you said vegetables because instantly I thought of Halloween. Halloween's coming up very, very shortly now. You see,
That's vegetables.
Yeah, look, I get all these kids come knocking at the door looking for chocolates and stuff. So what I do is I get those little cabbagey things, those little round cabbagey things, dip them in laxative chocolate and let them, wrap them up nicely. And when the kids come along, well, the next day who's taken some, don't you?
Yes, you do.
But that's my sense of humour. That's what I do. So kids around COVID, don't come and see me on Halloween because I'll give you some of those. Believe me, your mum and dad will hate me for it. Honest, they will. But at the same time, big celebrations coming up around the world. Don't forget, of course, only 61 days away until Christmas here in New Zealand. You see, we get it first. We really do. We're the first to see the light in New Zealand, and then the rest of the world is behind us. So 61 days away from Christmas. Not bad. We can start promoting it soon. We really can. And then, of course, after that, we've got New Year's Eve coming up as well. And that's always a blast here at Galaxy. It really, really is. Having said that, my friend, I want to talk to you about, you've got the forthcoming winter coming up, and just wondering, seeing you're such a proficient writer, are you going to be taking their time and writing down a new album?
Yes, I have a lot of stuff in production currently. I'm working on. I have a couple of brand new projects this winter. Going to be doing that along with getting in shape this winter. Going to be doing some of that too.
Nice, nice. Well, I tell you what, once you've written your new albums and everything like that, and had it recorded, produced, all that sort of stuff, that's the hard work. Next, what you need to do is come back to us and let us release it to the world for you. How do you feel about that?
I feel amazing about that. That's exactly what we're going to do.
Nice.
I'm
nice.
going to commit to that today.
Absolutely do that, because you are now part of the Galaxy family. We have you in on a Monday night as a Galaxy artist, and it's not easy to get in there. Only those who are going to do an interview or have done an interview in that file, we play you to the world on that night. We really do. Sunday, we play you on Country Sunday as well, 16 hours of country, and this is where we've been generating a lot of requests, because now I'm playing you in the breakfast show, and believe me, it's our hottest show here at Galaxy every morning, co-hosted of course by Barbara, and we get so many requests wanting to know more about you, and believe me, they do. They want to know stuff like your marital status, for instance. Are you married?
Yes, I am married. Happily married.
Nice. So that young lady in Australia, well, I think she was looking for a husband anyway, but I told her she had to come with at least a brewery and a boat before I'd, sway her way.
My wife's a sweetheart, so I don't think she'll share quite that much. But I'm sure this lady would love my wife.
Yeah, and at the same time, long distance relationships don't work, do they?
Never.
It takes a long time to get the beer from Australia into Idaho. It really does. You know, you could lose interest by the time it arrives.
Hey, we could connect through breweries. We need to create some sort of brewery pipeline.
Well, this is a good idea, but I would suggest to you that if you're getting beer out of Australia, some beers, they don't even know how to spell beer. It's just called 4X.
With 4 X's.
What's that?
Yeah, well, what is that? They can't spell beer, you know. It's XXXX. Come on. BEER. Easy, Australia. Beer. Simple, you know. Name it what it is, not 4X. But I got to admit, you know, one of the better Australian beers is actually Foster's. Absolutely love that drop, I got to be honest.
I love it, actually. Yeah.
But this is a good segue, because I'm going to invite you down to New Zealand to have a game of pool with me and try some New Zealand beer. I'm sure you'll absolutely adopt some of that. But at the same time, would you consider coming to New Zealand and playing for us here in New Zealand?
Yes, I would. I would love to.
Brilliant. I think maybe about 4 shows here in New Zealand, half a dozen in Australia, only because we like their money.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, so 10 shows, that puts a bit of coin in your pocket at the same time, makes everybody smile, and at the same time I get to learn a few tricks from you on the pool table, because that really tickles my fancy, it really does.
Awesome.
Now, at the same time, my friend, having said that, and we kind of let you in on the hilarities of this earlier on, are you up for a challenge?
Yes, I'm up for a challenge.
Nice. Have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
A hoo-hoo what?
Grub. Now, I know what you Americans are like with hoo-hoos. No, not one of those. None of that. It's actually, you must have heard of a caterpillar, right?
Yes, caterpillar. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this is a caterpillar on steroids. It's like I don't know, a B-train truck compared to a Mini.
You gonna have me eat one of these things?
Absolutely, but what you do is when you put...
I knew that's where this is going. I knew it.
Well, I tell you what, Jason, when you put the lion body in your mouth, rip off the head. Don't eat the head, it's yucky, it really is. But when you crunch down on this, the body tastes like creamy peanut butter.
Really?
It really does. It really does, and believe me...
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna eat one.
I have eaten my share of them, and, well, you know, at the same time...
Andrew Zimmer?
Yep.
Nothing on me.
Have a few brews beforehand, have a few brews afterwards, but believe me, it's something you got to do. At the same time, here in New Zealand, we have a thing called the Wild Food Festivals, where we fry stuff that really should never have been thought of about frying in the first place, but we do it, and it's a lot of fun to do. So we'll take you down and experience that. At the same time,
that sounds blast.
At the same time, we'll take you a little further down. Way past the Fox Glacier. The Fox Glacier will take you and show you as well. That's literally a big slab of ice that just keeps on keeping on. It's been doing it for millennia now, really, really has. So we'll show you that. But we'll take you down to Queenstown. And down in Queenstown, Shania Twain actually owns some property down there. And Kevin Costner was seen skulking around there not so long ago. Tom Cruise, people like that, the boutique people of the world, the A-listers go to Queenstown just to get away from getting away, and they run into each other all the time, you know, so, gosh, it happens, it really does. We'll take you down there, and I don't know, Barbara, we'll throw him off a bridge.
No.
No?
No, but
Yeah, he said to me before he wanted to go bungee. Yeah, we can do bungee jumping, my bro.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice, and believe me, I've done it many, many times. I love it. I really, really do. I have no fear, to be honest. And if you want to do that, we can also. I'm a member of the paragliding club, and we can go parachuting, paragliding. If you want to give that a shot as well.
You know I'm gonna do anything adventurous. I'm game.
Awesome. Having said that, though, where we are right now, we're in the middle of 3 cities. One of them being a Maori, that's the indigenous folks of New Zealand, the Maori here in New Zealand, a Maori tourist city called Rotorua. And in there we have a big thing called a Zorb. Now, have you ever heard of a Zorb?
No.
Okay. A Zorb is a big plastic ball. Now, again, we're going to get you a little juiced for this because it's a lot more fun when you run over people. But we roll you down a hill, and we'll put some people in front of you to be able to aim for, get, you know, the looks on their faces as you run over them, priceless. Absolutely priceless it is. But it's a lot of fun. You never know, the amount of juice that you put in may be left in there when you come out.
This is a drinking game, right?
Can be. It can be.
Okay, good.
You know, I've been kind of hoping that they get about a half a dozen of these so we can all do it at once and have, you know, maybe a super-sized game of pool together in these big Zorbs. That would be fun. That would be fun. I want to, you know, we'll have to talk to those people. We really will. But a lot of fun rolling down a hill. Now, are you familiar with Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I am.
Okay. About an hour and a half drive from where we are right now as the Hobbiton, where they did it's the set of the Hobbiton of the Lord of the Rings, and we can take you around, show you that. Absolutely stunning. You can absolutely bring the wife and show her through there, take all the photos, everything like that. That would be a lot of fun. Having said that too, by the way, Barbara's favourite sport is shopping, so I'm sure your wife and Barbara will get on like a house on fire.
Yes, they will.
There you go. And if she's going to be worried about anything at all, tell her not to worry. We'll take her up to Auckland, take you guys up to Auckland. We'll go out on the harbour, the Hauraki Golf, taking a meal, taking a few bottles of wine, a few drinks, whatever it is, and just enjoy the ambience. Believe me, you're going to love it.
Are we still on with Jacksonville? What's up with Jacksonville? Big shout out to them. Are they with us?
Yeah, they're still with us, and believe me, they're going to be airing this live very, very shortly as well. So, Jacksonville, Florida, glad to be on late night TV. It really is an honour to bring Jason James Rolfe to Jacksonville, Florida. Now, I want to talk to you, Jason, about So Lonely. Tell me all about that.
About So Lonely?
So Lonely.
Yeah, now we're digging deep here. So that would have been just a look in my little boy's eyes before I left for a road trip. And kind of how I was feeling in our relationship with my relationship with his mom at that time, and that's where that song comes from. A lot of people really connect with that. I love that song. Makes me just long for home and stuff like that.
You know, I fully understand. I really, really do. I enjoyed it the first time I heard it. I hear it all the time and enjoy it more and more as we go. So here, live on Galaxy 107 FM and Jacksonville Late Night Television is Jason James Rolfe and So Lonely. It's hot. How you feeling, Jason?
I'm feeling good.
Nice, nice. I'm going to talk to you a bit about VooDoo
Hi,
Princess
Chris.
next, because believe me, when I first heard it, I thought we were getting a girl.
That's right.
You know, somebody said to me, we're going to be talking to VooDoo
Brenda.
Princess. And then she's saying,
Oh,
his name is
after.
Jason. I'm going, what? What? So, we'll talk a little bit about that. So I apologise in advance for being rather confused, but I'm glad that we managed to iron that one out. But that's your album, isn't it? The name of your album.
The name of my album is the Jason James Band Outlaw State of Mind.
Right.
VooDoo Princess is because there's another Jason James out in Texas, and
Imposter.
and yeah, we cross up a lot, and I just am doing VooDoo Princess to really separate myself and something that I can advertise that he doesn't get credit for.
Yeah, bugger somebody else riding on your coattails, my friend.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
No.
So VooDoo Princess is something that I can advertise, and it's an easy name that people grab onto. The colors are bright, and no one else is going to call themselves VooDoo Princess, right? They don't have enough guts.
Especially me. But I want you to send me one of those hats.
Oh, I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can rummage another one out.
Do that, because I honestly...
Ask him the story. It's interesting.
Ask him the story.
Yeah.
I will ask him the story then. I really, really will. But at the same time, my friend, when you get your CDs, and do you have merch?
I do have a couple thousand hard CDs left. I can send out whatever you need.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Normally, I do these interviews with artists' T-shirts on, and you'll be surprised. People take note, and then they go and Google you. Before you know it, you get another 5,000 Facebook fans, and I feel sorry for anybody who has 5,000 Facebook fans. That's a lot of work. It really is, especially keeping in touch with them. But if you got any...
I'll get you a shirt, and I'll get you an album.
Great.
And then,
well, I was going to say, how about throwing in a few albums so that we can do a competition? Keep Jason James Rolfe rolling here at Galaxy. We want to, keep your name rolling, and believe me, everybody online and everybody listening, they all want something for nothing. They really do. So
He might send you a pink
yeah,
but-
I'll send out a bunch of them.
nice. And we post it all around the world. We really do. So let's go back to the desk.
How many?
Hold on, bro. Hold on. That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 10 away from 12 o'clock, 16 degrees downtown, bordering on the weatherman's prediction of 17 degrees today. I'm rather frightened, actually. I don't want him to win at all, ever. Thursday, October 24th, and you're right here, live, not only at Galaxy 107 FM, but joined live by Jacksonville, Florida, and late night television. Absolutely elated to be on their show over there. Coming out of New Zealand, no less. Now, joined by Jason James Rolfe, and we just had So Lonely. Absolutely love that track, I really, really do. But Jason, when I very first heard anything about your music, it was described to me as VooDoo Princess. I thought originally we were going to get a young lady, but I love your hat.
Surprise!
I love that hat. Now, I've been told, please, ask you about the origins of the hat. Where did they come from?
Over this last summer, it was 99 degrees, 100 degrees. We're in Lama, Idaho, and I needed a hat. Just dying. We go to a local supermarket. They had some ladies' hat, and so I just, with a little bit of banter with the girl behind the desk, she didn't think I would be brave enough to put a pink hat on it. Well, let me tell you what, I am brave enough, and I did it. And I played my first show with it that night, and people loved it. Girls wanted to take pictures with me, and so it's a stupid hat, but it works.
You know, it's a trademark now. I think you're going to have to invest in, I don't know, a few 100,000 more of those, because everybody's going to want one.
I think so. I think people are going to want it.
Well, I am one for a starter, to be honest with you. I want you to send me one. I really, really do. Love it, love it, love it. At the same time, Jason, we would love to be able to continue having you not only played here, but your name rolling as much as possible. How about sending me a few of your CDs so that we can do a few giveaways here at Galaxy?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to send a box out.
Awesome. Love a box. I really, really do. And put a couple in there. Throw a little signature on it for us, won't you?
Yes, I will. I'll sign them.
Nice. Absolutely love that. And believe me, all of our fans love getting personally autographed stuff, if you know what I mean. And we get a lot, an absolute lot of our artists. This is Kadu Source, by the way. I'll show you this very, very shortly.
Dude.
Yeah, now, this is an artist that comes out of Canada and is making huge inroads right now. And did a whole stack, signed them all for us. Literally, we gave them away. He's, I think he won an award at the BCCMAs just last weekend, actually. Artist of the Year, something like that. So believe me, I think it was the giveaways that we did that gave him all those extra votes.
I love it. I love it.
I really do, but we get a lot of those. We like to be able to keep one or two for ourselves, I've got to be honest with you, but we love to give stuff away. We really, really do. And the more we can give away of Jason James Rolfe, the better it is for everybody. Everybody gets to hear you.
I love it. I'm on it. We're gonna send out a big box of albums signed. I'm going to get on getting some VooDoo Princess garb out to you guys.
Nice.
And I'm going to get on finishing this album because now I'm getting excited.
Nice. And you know something? If you ever decide that VooDoo Princess needs a tutu, put a label on it and send me one.
Okay.
And make it the same color as your hat.
I was thinking maybe a VooDoo Princess G-string.
Oh yeah, but where would you put the logo?
Use your imagination.
I'd have to look into that. Yeah, but hold on, I don't want to be held up with a broken G string. My guitar wouldn't work the same. It really wouldn't. So, Jason, having said all of that, my friend, tell me about Funky Buffalo. This is one of my favourite songs of yours.
Oh man, Funky Buffalo. So I'm in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Now Jackson Hole you might know Grand Teton National Park. Maybe you've heard of that a little bit, the Tetons. So I'm at a art fair at the base of the Tetons, and there's just this picture of this big-ass funky buffalo. And I just looked at it, and I'm like, holy, that is a funky buffalo. And I turned and looked at my wife, and I said, you know what? I'm going to have to write a song about a funky buffalo. That's too funny. And at breakfast, I met the CFO of Wyoming Whiskey, David. It wasn't David DeFazio. It was one of the ladies that worked for Wyoming Whiskey. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to write a song about Wyoming Whiskey and put Wyoming Whiskey in it. And I'm sure she thought nothing of it, but it only took a week or two, and we had that done. So,
Well,
it was an afterthought after the album was done. We threw it on there.
Nice. Well, at the same time, I got to ask you, where did you get this recorded?
Now, so Dan Milford is the one that did all the recording for me. He is the music and brains behind most of this album. The new stuff has got a lot of my influence on it, but the current album out there is just basically his feeling from what my writing is.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, we absolutely love it here at Galaxy. As I said to you, it is really fast becoming my favourite, besides Outlaw State of Mind, which is my favourite. But first of all, here is the Funky Buffalo right here at Galaxy. Now, bro, I got to be honest with you. I've been an engineer now for almost 40 years, doing not only studio engineering but live bands around the world and stuff like that as well. So when I listen to music, I don't listen to it as a fan would listen to it. I listen to it as an engineer or a DJ would listen to it and break it down in its increments. I absolutely love this. I really, really do. I couldn't fault it.
That's awesome.
You know, I'm like one of these...
I can't wait to tell Dan that you couldn't.
Yeah, well, I'm like one of these ghost adventure people that go out and try and debunk everything. To find the bad side of it, of whether I do or don't want it. I couldn't do that. I really couldn't. And that's indicative of all of your music.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I absolutely... And I'll tell you something. I used to travel around the world with some of the biggest bands in the world at one stage there. And one band that we used to be with, they had valets for us. And we used to try and ditch the valets because we were sick and tired of seeing art centres and doing the meet and greets and all that sort of stuff. So we used to try and ditch them and get the hell out, have a look around towns and cities without being influenced of where to go and see things. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And basically we went out to the whorehouses. But anyway, we were in Amsterdam and I ditched this valet who was keeping an eye on us and ran up these stairs, and at the top of the stairs was this door. It said traditional country dancing. So I go bowling in there thinking, okay, I'm going to get some country, and there's all these Dutch people in traditional garb dancing. And I'm sitting there looking at all of this, and this young blonde girl comes up to me, blue eyes, blonde hair. She smiles at me and she goes, "Do you clog?" I said, "Only if I eat too much cheese."
Oh, that's funny.
What can I say to that? Obviously I didn't get a date, by the way.
No, you can't clog. That's why.
I can't clog.
No.
Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, bang on 12 day, October 24th, and fortunately those who are listening on the radio wouldn't have heard any of that, and I feel happy that you didn't. But having said that, my friend, I'm joined by Jason James Rolfe, coming out of Idaho Falls, Idaho, with the pink hat on. Absolutely love the hat. I want one myself. I've ordered one. At the same time, you write for other people, especially people like Rory Gosnell. Now, tell me about him.
So Rory Gosnell is just one of the most incredible vocalists I had ever heard in my life. And he's actually been a really good friend of mine for 20 plus years. But he never would hear my music or never would give me a chance to let me write for him or anything with music until Gypsy Soul. And for some reason, funny story, he got trapped actually. It was on his iPod on rotation. He was working and his hands were busy. And he couldn't stop it. So he had to listen to it. And after it got done, he decided he liked my music. And then after that, we started recording some stuff. And he's going to be coming out with an album too. I'm telling you what, amazing vocalist. It's like a real Shaman's Harvest kind of feel to him.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, next time you're talking to him, mention us, see if he wants an interview as well, and get him to get in touch with Barbara. We'd certainly like to be able, because we certainly like to be able to entertain our artist friends as well, if they're good enough, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and you're gonna love songs like Demon and When I Write a Love Song. Oh man, you're gonna love it.
Absolutely brilliant. You know, I'm absolutely looking forward to this. I really, really am. But in the meantime, now, I've got to be honest with you, my friend. Over 3,113 requests for Outlaw State of Mind since we've been playing it. How did you do that?
Because it's a good song, man. And it was, it started out as a fiction and then, you know, it just sort of ended up maybe slightly true, and then 10 years later I recorded it.
Well, I got to be honest with you, that amount of people, they won't let me go through a breakfast show right now without having played it. I got to be straight up. I play it on your 16 Hours of Country. We play it on a Monday night as well in the artist. But this is the song that everybody wants to hear on the breakfast show right now. You're becoming fast a breakfast show galaxy superstar. And I want you to tell me all about the song. How did you come to the lyrics of this?
So, I was in Lake of the Ozark, Missouri in about 2005. And me and a friend of mine, a musician, guitar player, was just messing around. And he just threw out a styrene sign and started playing guitar, and we started just going back and forth, and it just happened. It just it spilled out, and then later on, I got in a little bit of trouble for standing up for someone, and the song kind of came true a little bit. So it became a little bit deeper for me, and when I recorded, that was the first song I recorded.
Very, very cool. Well, I got to be honest with you. This was the song that I was introduced to you about, and somebody said to me, it's the VooDoo Princess. When I very first heard this, I looked at them and went, that's not a girl. Literally. So, Jason, I got to be honest with you. I absolutely love this track. I really, really do. The world has picked up on it. Here at Galaxy 107 FM is Jason James Rolfe and Outlaw State of Mind.
Maybe we could hear a bit of it.
Maybe we could hear a bit.
Miles of mountains.
It's a great song. Awesome song.
Is all
So Jason, what we will do next is we'll wind up the radio show of this, but hang in there because we'll do a couple of quick videos. We'll do one for the Galaxy and we'll also do one for Jacksonville Late Night Television as well. So we'll get those and send all of that off to them. Please don't be surprised if a guy called Frank Mama or one of the Jacksonville Late Night Television crew get in touch with you, and they'll probably want to know a little bit more about you as well, and of course they'll get your permissions and everything like that to put it on television.
Sure, sounds good.
Nice, nice. And
stage at the moment.
thank you for being our Jacksonville Late Night Television guinea pig.
I love it. Anytime.
Nice.
Anytime.
I really meant what I said before. Will you please come back again when you bring out new work? We would love to be able to catch up again. I'll have to check with Barbara to see whether we got a slot left or not, but we're fast coming to the end of the year, as you can understand. So we're looking towards doing a Christmas extravaganza. If we've got time, can we squeeze you in? Can we tap you on the shoulder and say hello?
Yes, you can.
Nice, nice, because we would love to be able to do that. In the meantime, if you've got any Christmas music, pass it our way. We would certainly love to be able to add it to the Christmas show.
Sweet. I don't have, but I'll work on something.
Something to think about, actually. You know.
Yeah, but Steve Baker would love Christmas tracks at the moment. Anyone that's on Facebook Live at the moment with us.
And I'm going to talk to you. Have you ever heard of a guy called Steve Baker?
No, I have not.
Okay. Now, he comes out of Nashville, and what he does is he works in the video industry where he puts artists' videos everywhere they need to be seen, like the Hard Rock cafes, the malls, floating palaces, you name it, everywhere. Even the Burger Kings when you go and get a meal on the screen there, everything like that. Would you be interested in him getting in touch with you?
I would love that.
Nice, nice, because believe me, he works tirelessly, really does, to get you promoted wherever you can be seen, and he's the man to do that. So I'll get Barbara to pass on information to him, and if you see something from Visual Image Marketing or VIM come up, or Steve Baker, don't get rid of it. Answer it.
Gotcha.
Okay? Answer it, believe me. We have our fingers in pies everywhere, and we try to promote our artists as much as possible everywhere we can.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I
And welcome to the big time.
I
don't know whether to feel sorry for you or happy.
I've been working hard, man. I don't know. I hope it's awesome.
Nice, nice. Anyway, let's go back to the desk.
State of mind.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM and Jacksonville, Florida, late night television, where Galaxy brings you the world's best indie music. We really, really do. And today's artist being Jason James Rolfe and Outlaw's State of Mind, the biggest request here at Galaxy this week. And we've been playing him for a couple of weeks. Believe me, it's just amazing. Jason, absolute pleasure to have you with us. I feel very, very humbled to meet you, my friend. I really, really do. And want to know, will you please come back again?
Yes, I will.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you in person and throwing you off a bridge. I really am. Rolling you down a hill, getting drunk with you and learning a few of your pool tricks as well. I really am looking forward to that. But mostly, I'm looking forward to seeing you live on stage here in New Zealand.
Me too, next summer.
Yes, let's work it out. Let's get it done. And believe me, Barbara is the manager of Aurora Entertainment. She does everything. Believe me, we got everything you need, except maybe sponsors. That's the only thing we really do need. Everything else we can take care of, right down to your visas, staging, you name it. We got our fingers on it.
Sounds great.
So, you don't have to pack anything except for maybe your tools and the rest of your band. Of course, you got to bring the wife because there's a shopping spree involved here. We need that to happen. We really do. At the same time, maybe while you're on your way over on the plane and you are telling your wife that she's going to go shopping with Barbara, maybe you could just talk to her and see if she'd be interested in taking Barbara and going getting her tattooed.
She might do that.
Yeah, I've been trying to get Barbara tattooed for a couple of years, you know. I'm trying everything these days. Have a talk to her on the way over. Let's make a plan. Gang up on Barbara, get her into a tattoo studio.
She might be into that because my wife doesn't have one either, and maybe they could both get one.
Well, there's an idea as well, yeah.
What happened there?
That's not us.
Whoa.